Hmm. Just bear with me a moment. So yeah, welcome to episode 2 of Let's Stream Creatures 2. I've had a bit of a pain getting this up and running, to be honest, because for some reason Nvidia Shadow Play, GeForce Experience or whatever decided it didn't want to run, and it kept saying the recording had failed. So I had to mess about getting OBS started up. I'm not really that familiar with OBS actually, which is why I've not really used it before. But if things go well in this episode, then maybe I'll use that in future instead of Nvidia or whatever it's called. If I can get Nvidia working again, I don't think I will do. I've had all sorts of problems with them, Shadow Play included, when they decided to update that and it broke everything. So yeah, I'm just going to be a couple of minutes just to get everything up and running. Yeah, should be okay. I'm just currently monitoring the live dashboard because unlike Nvidia, I can actually access it from here, and it's just I know I could probably access it from Nvidia, but I never really did. But I don't know. It's just a lot more hands-on with OBS and stuff. So yeah, I'll probably be using this from now on. So yeah, just to recap, we've got 2 Norns at the moment. They've moved about a bit since I actually started the world up because I had to do a few tests and stuff. Yeah, this Norn at the moment, I think he's the one that's selected. I can't remember his name. Let's have a look at the creature's name list. Tommy. No, it's Lily actually. Lily's the female one. Yeah, she appears to be quite amorous at the moment, which means that hopefully they'll mate at some point and maybe have some babies. One thing you'll notice is I actually got rid of the the taskbar at the bottom of the screen, which is another good feature in OBS. Another thing I've just noticed, which is pretty funny, is that OBS is actually in this OBS 0 thing in the middle of the screen. For those who don't know, that's just a glitch that happens every so often with a game for some reason. It goes eventually though, but it is quite annoying. So yeah, as I was saying, we'll probably be expecting some babies in this episode, depending on how long I run it for. And I'm thinking of maybe adding another Norn as well, just to make things a bit more diverse in the gene pool and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, everything looks okay from the live dashboard, apart from the big black bar at the bottom, but I don't think that's much of an issue, to be honest. So yeah, here we go. So yeah, this is Tommy. He's the male Norn, and he seems to be really angry for some reason. I've got no idea why. Yeah, that was an issue on the last episode. The Norns kept getting really angry for some reason. Like I said, I have no idea why. It's very strange. It's quite unusual as well because Creatures 2 Norns are usually quite laid back and chilled, and they don't tend to get as worked up about things as much as they do in the later games. So, oh, it's gone. I've just noticed the OBS 0 thing's gone. That's good. Yeah, I've no idea what causes that glitch at all. I think it's something to do with I don't know, maybe the drivers, the things responsible for drawing the game sprites or something. I think they might glitch up every so often. So we've not really explored much of Albia yet. We've mostly just been keeping to this little incubator area. It's fairly safe. To be perfectly honest, there aren't that many areas in Albia that are dangerous. There are quite a few dangerous plants here and there, dangerous fruit. The first of which you'll usually encounter on the rope bridge to the west of this area. You can find these little purple berries growing, and some of them are okay to eat, but some of them can be very poisonous. And I've actually lost a couple of Norns to them because they decided to have a little snack. Oh no, don't start that again. Last episode they started slapping each other. Oh, she's bonked into the wall. Yeah, that's one of the issues the Narns in this game have. They have a nasty habit of walking into walls. Now, I'm not sure how many people watching this will be on the Creatures, the Non-Nebula Discord server, which is actually the Creatures server I run. But I'd just have to say I'm not able to look at the comments at the moment. I could do if I just maximise the Discord window, but I don't want it to cover this main window that I'm using, so I'll just be a second. Yeah, everything's okay. I was just seeing if anyone's asking me any questions or anything. So now for some reason they seem to be hitting each other and getting angry. Maybe I'll send them down here into the cellar. Yeah, I'm not sure if I've mentioned it in the last episode, but this year, September this year, will actually mark 20 years since Creatures 2 came out, which is pretty incredible. So I remember getting it. I didn't actually buy it. I got it of a newspaper for free, which is pretty awesome because these days you never get any good games for free with like newspapers and stuff. I don't know if they still do it anymore. As it's like the toys you used to get with cereal and stuff, they stopped doing that now. I think it's all to do with the health risks and stuff. Because I remember I've read a few things about Burger King toys getting like the Pokeballs you could get to tie in with one of the Pokemon movies got stuck over children's mouths and they ended up suffocating, so that might be a reason that they stopped giving them out. So she seems to enjoy this cheese a lot. Yeah, if anyone's watching this and they find their Narns are a bit dumb, the Narn breed, not really a breed, but the genetics I'm using are actually called a Canny Narns, and they've been modified to have better survival instincts and to be able to take care of themselves better than the Narns that actually ship with the game. So they seem to be okay. It's a lot bigger down here as well, so they've got more space from each other. I don't know if they're going to be breeding soon or anything, because in the creatures games, there's actual biochemistry and stuff like that. And what happens is the female Narns have like an egg cycle, a lot like real life animals, where they're in season during specific times, and during that time that's when the male Narns have got to mate with them, and that'll guarantee that the egg will be fertilised. But there's a trick to it. If a male Narn mates with a female just as estrogen, which is basically how it's the main chemical behind it all, is just about to descend, that's when she'll get pregnant. But it can be a bit tricky to mate them, but it depends on the breed of Narn. It also depends on the game, because the ones in Creatures Free and Docking Station sometimes just at it like rabbits. So she seems really angry and oh dear, I'll need to install a fix for that. These cactus seeds have a habit of falling down here and spawning cactus in the cavern area. It's not very nice to look at. So I think I'll install a fix to stop them falling down. So yeah, I'll have to find it first. I've got a lot of stuff installed at the moment. Just bear with me a moment. Yeah, my legs hurt a bit after they've been bent for quite a while. Right, let's see if I can find it. I think I know what it's called. Yeah, this is it. Room. Yeah, these update the boundaries of the world, add invisible walls and stuff. So, for instance, Narns and other creatures can't get stuck around certain areas, and they don't end up falling into the ocean and stuff. And he's starting to slap her again. She's not happy at all. Oh, he seems... I don't understand what is up with these Norns. They're always angry. I think a good title for this episode would be Anger Management. Yeah. See if they can... I'll just open up our breeder's kit. This is how you can actually monitor all the breeding chemicals and stuff and see when a Norn's in season and when they can mate. Now she's adolescent. She's not fertile at the moment. Her estrogen, which is the main chemical, is relatively low at the moment. When it starts to actually go up, that's when she'll be able to mate then. I'm going to explain what each of these chemicals is. Oh, actually, it's going up now, so she'll be able to mate soon. The estrogen basically controls their egg cycle. Sorry about that. The egg cycle. In animals, they produce an egg which will get fertilised. So that's what estrogen is. LH, I've not really looked into what that is. Luteinizing hormone, I think it's called. I remember that from school. I think that's something to do with being pregnant or something. Sex drive basically controls how the creature's desire to mate. I don't know how to say this. Gonadotrophin. I'm not too sure on that either, to be honest. I'll have to look that up. But I know that progesterone controls a pregnancy. Like as soon as it reaches its highest point, she'll actually lay an egg. And like I said, I don't know what LH is. I think that's actually related to the estrogen as well, because that's going up too. So hopefully I'll better get them to mate. She doesn't know what Norn means. This might be a bit of a challenge. He doesn't. Oh no! What am I doing? He's not even ready to mate. So that's a waste of time. But yeah, he's a child at the moment, which means he's obviously not ready to breed yet. But when male Norns do get ready to breed, they can pretty much mate whenever they want. They're not like female Norns. They don't have to they don't rely on a cycle. A lot like real life animals, actually. In fact, the whole game's based around real animal biology. Yeah, just enjoying some of these mushrooms. These mushrooms are, I don't know, I think they're pretty much harmless. I think they might have a bit of alcohol in them, but I've never seen any Norns like have any bad reaction to eating them or anything. So I think it might be time we had like another Norn to the world. I'm thinking maybe a third-party breed. One Norn breed I've actually had in mind for quite a while are the Kai Norns by Wafaru, and these are a fan-made breed, and they're interesting because, let me see if I can. I don't know if I've got them installed actually, but I should do. Let's see. I don't know if I can see them anywhere. No, I don't think we have. Shame really, because I wanted to use them. I could download them maybe, but I don't really want to mess about having to open everything up. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the Volcano Norns really. I don't know what else we could maybe add. Maybe an Eldorado Norn. I'm not sure. That's the thing. That's the problem I find with the breeds in the game. That's my only criticism. It's not immediately possible to see what kind of genetics they're using. Like I don't know if these will be compatible with this breed, with these current Norns that I've got. But I don't suppose it'll hurt to try. I just hope I have the sprites installed, otherwise the game will crash. There we go. Eldorado Norns, I think they're they're like a greenish colour and they're a bit like reptilian. Ah, there we go. Yeah. These are probably one of my favourite third-party Narn breeds. We've got another one as well called Bahama Narns. They're really nice too. Yeah, she looks cute. Unlike regular Narns, their ears are always down. I wonder what I'll call her. I'll just call her Daisy. Oh dear. Oh, I thought the owner's kit had frozen then. Oops. Which it usually does. Take a photo. Oops. Oh, it's hard to get a picture of her. There we go. Because it's nice to have it's nice to actually have a picture of a Narn, because when they die, if you haven't taken any recent pictures, they have to use one of when they were a baby, and it doesn't look very good. So she seems pretty content with that. I'm just sharing the link to the stream at the moment, in case anyone hasn't realised it. So yeah, oops. She's done that. It's done that again where I picked it up by accident. Oh, one of the Narns has done it. So they're not very exciting, these two. There must be something I can download that gives them an instant vocab infusion. So it is a bit boring having to keep teaching them how to talk. And I'm actually surprised I don't have the Kynarns installed. Oh jeez, they're being loud now. Yeah, I said I'm actually surprised I haven't got the Kynarns installed, because I've got the Kynarn add-ons installed. I've got the baby's milk vendor, because I was going to say Kynarns, they're not like regular Narns. They actually need to have a mother Narn to give them milk, and if they don't have it they'll die because they can't digest regular food. And I thought that was really interesting, that when I first read about them. Just a shame I haven't actually got them installed. I'm going to have to go through a lot of these and get rid of them, because I don't really use some of these breeds. Like I said in the last episode, oh dear, I'll just cut that. Like I said in the last episode, what was I going to say then? Yeah, like I said in the last episode, that the game does come with the Narn breeds from Creatures 1, but they're not. I don't think they've done a very good job actually adding them to the game. They feel more like an afterthought, and the reason for that is they don't even show any facial expressions unless they're directly facing the camera, which is a shame. And they also suffer from issues when they're walking as well. Like sometimes they get stuck on slopes and stuff, and I don't think they did a good job putting them over, to be honest. And the colours feel really washed out as well. I know that the original Creatures game had a 256 colour palette, but they could have at least maybe done something with that when they were importing them in. Stop kicking her. Oh god, they're kicking each other again. Very aggressive. I've never seen a pair of Narns so aggressive. Hopefully she'll go to sleep soon, that one. Yeah, one thing I've found, because Creatures 2 Narns are infamous for not being able to sleep, is that they usually end up falling asleep when they're actually gone somewhere by themselves. Yeah, they don't tend to fall asleep in crowds. Oh, stuck. Yeah, one of the things I did install was like a dodgeball add-on where if you like make a ball bounce into a Narn, it like punch in noise and bounce off it. I'll have to have a look now because I did install quite a few things. One of the things you'll notice most of all are the ocean bridges. I've said that before, the Narns in Creatures 2 aren't very good at dealing with ledges and stuff, and they always fall off. So I got Tweety Bird out with the Looney Tunes. I don't really like installing stuff like that because it can get a bit annoying because he like says he talks a lot, and it does get irritating when you like just try to look after your Narns and you get him wittering away one of his quotes or something. But Narns can actually eat him as well, which makes him a good snack as well. I might actually be able to get away with it if I just eat Critter to the Narns and inject Tweety Bird. And they eat him. Oh God. Oh, he did eat him. I mean, she did eat him. I was expecting a crunch noise, but there usually is a crunch noise. Never mind. Strawberries. I don't even know why these inject, actually. I'll just inject them again. Oh, this is good. A steamer pot. Basically, with this, you can, like, pop little... Oh, what's that doing there? Yeah, the crabs for some reason like to oh, it is still alive. What was that? Oh, it's doing the oh, whatever, I'll just delete that tweet. Yeah, he's getting on my nerves a bit now. Right, get rid of that. Let's see what was in here. Oh, it was a crab. Yeah, you can actually steam animals and stuff up like these dudes. You can steam those up. Like give your Narns like a nice snack. Oh, let's steam that one as well. You can put crabs in. Oh, the screaming noise! I love it. Put crabs in. You can put doozers in, which is funny. And then you can dispense them, move you, and that's doing that stupid glitch again. Right. It's all red and cooked. Yeah, she's eating them now. It always feels really rewarded in this game when Narns eat, because like they're quite infamous, as well as not being good sleepers, not being good eaters either. So yeah, I think most of it stems from the fact the Narns don't like to be by themselves. They've always got to be with other Narns, so they always get distracted by each other. Oops, sorry. So I'll go back to the other Narns now. They seem to be alright actually. What's he doing? Oh, he wants to eat the hand. He can't eat the hand. He's still a child, but soon he'll be ready to mate. I thought it would crash then. Oh, the breeder's kit was glitched out a bit. No, it's back to normal now. Yeah, the game is quite buggy, so I'm just praying it doesn't crash on me or anything. But compared to the version I used to run on Windows Millennium Edition, this is fairly stable. Because the one on Millennium Edition, I just remember it crashing all the time and being really frustratingly slow, which I don't think I noticed at the time because I was so engrossed in the game. But I just remember, from what I remember, the animations are incredibly slow, and it was due to the computer being rubbish and stuff. which they were back then. Computers, they were terrible compared to the ones now, but maybe we'll say the same thing about the computers we got now in the future. I'm saying that my computer's 4 years old and it's still running strong. Oh, maybe we could go exploring. There's like a bridge over here. That's not actually part of the game originally. It's part of a add-on called the Plateau Project, and it adds a few platforms and a few fixes to the, and just makes the world a bit more accessible. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's a bit of a glitch as well around this area of the world, because the way the actual world itself wraps around, this area is like the seam, so Norns, when they go around this area, I think I actually said this on the last episode, they become a bit confused. There's not really much you can do about it because it's sort of a glitch that's built into the engine. You can't do anything. But yeah, I really love this music as well. In fact, games, I love the game. I love all of the game's soundtrack, but I think this is probably the best part for me, because I can just remember one of the first times I actually played the game properly. I took a Norn over here after spending what like seemed an entire hour trying to actually get her anywhere. For her to come over here and to be greeted by that music was just absolutely wonderful. But yeah, it makes things so much easier, this bridge here. You know, I'm going to faff about taking them over the rope bridge or anything. Come on. So yeah, this is probably my favourite area of the Creatures 2 world. I don't think it's actually got an official name. I think it's just referred to as the giant birch in the game's files, but I think it's really nice. All the plants, all the fruit and stuff. And we've got these grapes here. These are actually unofficial too. These are actually they're a good food source though. There seems to be a lot of bees around. Come on, eat the fruit. Go on. Yeah, there's this weird plant here as well called Gelsemium. I think it's Gelsemium or Gelsemium or something, and it's got medicinal properties. This is the only place it grows, and it's also across this gap here, which I've obviously bricked off with an add-on, because I just think it's pointless just having that there, because Norns just fall down into the gap. Just fall into this whole area, and it's not very good. Now, I think one of them's missing. I think it's either fallen off or another creature's eating it, but I doubt that, because there's no other creatures around here. I think the Etienne and the Grendel are just happily milling about in the swamp area at the moment. Come on. Oh, I missed the ride. I'll have to pick him up. I can't be bothered waiting for the lift. There you go. Yeah, you can't actually pick Norns up in this game unless you either have the blueberry cheat enabled, which allows you to right click and pick them up. You do that cheat, which is just that thing that I just demonstrated. I just do that thing that I demonstrated. Then I don't think there's any other way actually. I think, I'm not sure who it was, but I know one of the designers of the game. I think it might have been Steve Grand who came up with the original Creatures game. He said that he didn't want people to be able to pick up Norns because it interfered with things, and so that's probably why they've not included it in this one. But they included it in the third one on Docking Station, which I think kind of ruins it a bit. But yeah, this is just. This used to actually have a dinghy, a rubber dinghy going across it, but that's obviously gone out. And it was the most. It's really well, it weren't annoying as that other boat on the boat on the other river. I mean, on the other ocean. There was actually a boat on the other ocean, which is also covered by a platform. And that boat was so annoying because if your Norn got off it and walked back on it again, it wouldn't be able to go anywhere unless either the Norn or you push the button on it, but no one's never pushed the button on it, so they just get stranded in the boat. So this is the volcano. Yeah, the volcano area. In the normal game, in normal circumstances, no-ones can actually walk through this area here, but I think they've got something installed so they can, which makes things a lot more easier. Oh yeah, this is the Love Horn. This is actually called the Island of Love in the game's help file, and what the Love Horn does, it just makes no-ones want to breathe, pretty much. Yeah, one of my memories of playing the game back in the day was trying to get a pair of no-ones wanted to mate over to the Love Island, and it was such a hassle. So yeah, we've basically just circumnavigated the whole world. In a normal modified Albia, it'd probably take a bit longer because we wouldn't have the platforms to walk over the oceans with. Sorry about a stupid notification thing. We wouldn't have the platforms to walk over, and we'd also have to go down through the volcano and get that submarine thing. But yeah, it makes it a hell of a lot easier. Just better walk over the oceans because it doesn't risk any no-one's drowning then. Which wasn't a big problem in the first Creatures game, believe it or not, even though they also had oceans. It's because they didn't have water in the first game. They didn't actually have a water system. And if you did drop anything over the ocean, it'd just basically sit on the top. But yeah, this is the first game to actually feature proper oceans and proper ecosystems and stuff. But yeah, like I said, they put a lot of effort into making the world. Like, we got these rain clouds over here. You can also get thunder clouds too, and sometimes lightning comes out, and if it hits one of your norns, it can get a bit scared and run away. So yeah, we just got these coconuts. These normally don't grow over here, and these bananas certainly aren't part of the game. They're also third-party add-ons I've got, because it just makes things easier when norns are over here and they want something to eat. Yeah, I've always thought it was strange how they referred to this as the Island of Love, because it's pretty much just the volcano. But yeah, the volcano. Actually, we'll go down through the volcano. So I don't know why there's a snail there. But yeah, there's a chance now that we might get a Grendel hitching a ride on the elevator, which is usually the case, but I don't know if it will. Just have to wait and see. Nah, no Grendel. Yeah, this is really dangerous, this area, actually, because not only are the areas which have got no guards on and no one's going to fall off, there's also a lot of radiation around the volcano as you head further down. I've actually I don't know if I've told it, I mentioned it on the last episode, but this bridge here is also a third-party add-on because I was simply fed up of Grendels falling off and just hurting themselves and ending up in the volcano and eventually getting sick with radiation poisoning. Because this is actually the Grendel hatchery here, which is rather a strange place to put them because they're basically doomed from the moment they're born. Which is why I remember in when I used to play Creatures years ago, I used to enable the blueberry cheat and like move all the Grendel eggs to the jungle area using the cheat and letting them hatch there rather than around here. So we're gonna have go and take this submarine now back to the incubator room. So yeah, there we go. Oh no, it's going the wrong way. I've never understood how that thing works at all. Oh, this is another problem area where Norns can sometimes get like fall into the ocean because they bounce off the roof as soon as they get out of the submarine. But I'm gonna take him back now. So yeah, let's go to the other Norns. Well, they seem to be doing pretty good. So it's always good. It's always good to see happy Norns, even though they're not very intelligent, because that is just demonstrated by when he tried to eat that lift button. Oh, he's just eating that doozer. Yeah, Creatures Docking Station and Creatures 3 is a bit different because the Norns I found are a lot more gullible. Like if you've got a big massive group of Norns and tell them to hit Norn, they'll all start hitting each other. It's hilarious, but it doesn't work that well in this game. They rarely listen to you, I found. It's mostly in the later games that actually pay more attention to the player. So yeah, he seems to be angry again. She's angry. I don't know why. I've said this thousands of times. I don't know why they're angry. If I think of it, she's very bored. Let's give her this to play with, this saxophone. I love that saxophone. It's funny as well how if a Norn picks up the saxophone and plays it, it immediately plays it really well, even though it's had no prior experience. It's a shame really because they got rid of the instruments in Creatures 3. It's fun watching Norns play them and stuff. Oh, she's burnt herself. Yeah, they like to touch the fire for some reason. I think it's because it's bright and it's, I don't know, bright and pretty, so they want to touch it. It's funny because every single Norn I've ever played this game with, they've always wanted to touch the fire and they've ended up burning themselves on it. Yeah, nothing's really happening, to be honest. I know we've got Daisy there and she's the newest Norn addition to the world, but things will be a lot different when Tommy finally becomes an adolescent. No, not yet. They usually do around 1 hour and 8 minutes, I've found. I've had a few mutations in the past though with the game, where even when Norns have reached that age, nothing's happened, and it turns out they've been born sterile, which is really annoying because you don't know if they're going to be able to breed or not by that time. Oh yeah, I think the child stage is longer in this game, but I'm not really. I think it is, but yeah, the entire game just feels a lot more slower than the later two. It feels a bit more involved as well. You actually get to know the Norns more, and rather than in Creatures Free and Docking Station, which feels a bit more like a breeding project. I prefer this game mostly, just because it feels more like you're actually in another world in a sense. I see the creature in Rarity Creatures Free and Docking Station. It feels a bit sterile. It feels a bit devoid of warmth. The closest place you ever get to the Creatures 2 level of feeling like Creatures 2 is probably the non-terrarium, but I don't know. It just feels like this, as soon as they swapped out the hand-drawn sprites with the 3D Norm models, they kind of lost a bit of the charm. Because if you do look at the models of the Creatures Free and Docking Station ones, they're not as detailed as the ones in this game. Although a few of the later ones that have recently been made are a lot better than the ones that actually ship with the game, because obviously the 3D technologies have advanced and stuff. Now he's kissing her for some reason. Oh, we just kicked him. Leave her alone. She's not old enough. Oh, it's night time, yeah. Yeah, I think the thing that indicates it's night time is when the cacti start seeding. I mean, you can't actually see it's physically night time, but things do indicate it's happening. And I think, if I recall correctly, let's go back to the. We might want to set a favourite place here at this big tree. Yeah, we're currently on the second to last day of summer, which means that once this day's over, we'll be on the 4th day, and once that's finished, we'll be on to no, not summer. I meant spring, and then we'll be on to summer, and that's when all the butterflies start to come out and stuff. And then it'll lead on to autumn, and then it'll lead on to winter then. So yeah, let's add this as a favourite place. Now, how do we do that? Oh yeah, here we go. I'll just call it Giant Tree. Snow does fall as well during the colder months, but it doesn't actually stick to the ground. It would have been nice if it did. I think Creatures Village, which was a Creatures spin-off as such, featured seasons, but I think they were executed a lot better than this, where you could actually see snow falling onto the ground and the leaves of the trees turned brown and stuff. And it would have been nice if someone had maybe updated Creatures 2 to maybe show that a bit more. I know there's actually an agent you can add. Well, I've actually got it installed called the Grendel Frost. And what that does, it injects these little tiny Grendels, and they I've not actually used these in years. And what they do is they bounce around the world and summon snow from the clouds. I can't actually see any snow at the moment. I think it might only happen when they're actually under the clouds. I think I'll get rid of them for now. Yeah, there was actually a Christmas pack and a Halloween pack as well released, and they're both official for Creatures 2, and they're quite good actually. Comes with stuff like presents and stuff you can add to the incubator room for Norns to open up. and fairy lights too, which I thought was really interesting. Oh yeah, here, these are all the Christmas stuff, got presents, a turkey and stuff, and we've got this cloud nursery. That's quite interesting. That it basically adds like a floating nursery area above the Western Ocean. It's good for bringing up baby Norns, but I think at one point I might have had some kind of issue with it, and so I'm not really comfortable adding it to this world at the moment. I know that it does have an instant vocab thing with it though, which is good, but I'm not too sure I really feel comfortable using it in case it crashes. So yeah, let's have a look at him. Yeah, he's ready to breed now. I think I'll put him in with Lily and see if anything happens. You should leave her alone for the start. She's not even ready yet. She's only a child. She's only just turned into a child. Oh, she started to get like an orange mane on her back. Come on, move. Oh, forget it. I'll just pick him up and move him in. Oh, what's happened to him now? I hope he's not frozen. Oh, she's going down there now. She can't get. You can't get away from her. It's like I said. It's like watching a soap opera. Yeah, I think he might have frozen. It like every so often in the game, Norns can like freeze in one position and they don't move, even if you try and push them with the hand. And it's really annoying, especially when they're pregnant, because as I said last time, if you export a pregnant Norn, you'll never be able to get back in the game again, because the game will just crash as soon as you try importing it. I'm going to export him now and then import him again, hopefully. Oops. I think there's been an error or something. It's something to do with the health kit. Let me. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've just realised I've still got the health kit open. Let's close it. Yeah, with all these windows at the bottom, it does make it a bit of a pain. So I'll try exporting him and doing that again. Yeah, it should work now. But yeah, like I said, Creatures 2 is very, very temperamental. There is an autosave feature in it, but I'm not sure how effective it is, like how often it actually saves the game. Let's send her back up there. See if we can get him to mate now. I don't know if she's actually ready to mate. And he's kissing her, but she's slapping him. No, she's not actually ready to mate at the moment. You can get add-ons that can increase the fertility, so you don't have to wait. But I don't know if I've actually got any of those installed at the moment. I know if you've got the advanced science kit, you can actually directly inject the chemicals into your Norn. I do know that. Yeah, I've actually got a thing installed. It's called Sexy Up Norn, and what it does, it basically tells, injects all the Norns with the chemicals, tells them to mate, and injects the script. So I might try that actually, because it might help just giving them a little encouragement. So yeah, I'll see if it's successful. Well, that noise you heard just then was the mating. Yeah, she's pregnant. Yeah, like in real life. Oops, I hope it's not crashed. Yeah, for some reason the kits seem really glitchy and like they have a habit of freezing. But yeah, in real life, just like in real life, not every time a Norn mates will be successful. Like it's not always going to become. The female won't always become pregnant. But yeah, she's pregnant, and he keeps trying to mate with her still, and they're both tired. I found mating in this game's a lot more taxing on a Norn than it is on is in the third and is in Creatures 3 and Docking Station. So in that game they can be at it for hours on end and not even get any visible tiredness. But yeah. Oh, she's kissing him now. Haha. Yeah, it's a shame because one of the things that the third game and Docking Station did do right was you could get twins, or even up to, I think you can get up to 6 eggs laid at a time. Oh, she's laid the egg. I'll just take it up there and I'll pop it in the incubator. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's actually a mod you can get for this game that allows that to happen. I'll have to have a look. I'm sure there is though. Because it just makes things so much more interesting. So we'll hatch this egg now. It'll probably just like, it's probably not going to be anything too fancy. It's probably just going to look like a mixture of those two breeds. So yeah, there we go. As you can see, she's got a mother's head, tail and legs, and her father's body and arms. Yeah, sometimes as you get further along the line, mutations can occur which can result in Norns that can be quite brightly coloured and pretty interesting. And you can also get some rather detrimental mutations like Norns that can be born unable to breathe properly, and Norns that can suffer from asthma, which is basically where they feel suffocation. Which suffocation is actually a chemical in the game where they can feel that for no reason. I've not really looked into the Creatures 2 mutations that much, but I know one of the most common ones in the Creatures 3 and Docking Station is called the slide mutation, where a Norn can't move, it can only face the front. And it's pretty sad then, because there's not really much you can do to help them apart from you can inject them with food and stuff, but usually it's just kind of to put them to sleep. So yeah, let's give her a name now. Shall we call her? There's no auto namer in this game, so you've got to think up all the names yourself. I'll just call her Angelica. I'm just thinking of random names at this rate. Leave her alone, you big bully. It's just funny, just the faces make me laugh. How they can just like slap each other and they've got the same facial expression. So those two seem to be getting on okay. Yeah, everything seems to be going alright. Maybe once Daisy's reached age, I better breed her with Tommy and they'll better have a baby together. And it makes things a lot more interesting as well because it introduces another Norn breed into the gene pool, and then maybe that baby then that they have can breed with Angelica. And the good thing about Creatures games is there's no problem with inbreeding, or if a Norn breeds with its half brother or half sister, it won't have any detrimental effects on the genetics. He's really angry again. I wonder if that'll happen with her as well. Getting really angry over nothing. And yeah, maybe in the next episode I'll finally get the Kynorns installed and we'll better hatch one of those. I love the facial expressions. They look so much better than the Creatures 3 ones. It just looks so hilarious. We've been running nearly a whole hour now. I think I might stay on for a bit longer though. Oh, they've mated again. Let's see if she's pregnant. Oh geez, she's pregnant again. But yeah, as you can see, yeah, these are all the chemicals and stuff. I think estrogen stays at the top and LH does as well. Well, Norm's pregnant, and as you can see, the progesterone's starting to rise, and once that reaches the top, that's when she'll lay the egg. But it's not always like that. Sometimes the Norn can lay an egg before that happens. But yeah, what that does, it basically controls the growth rate of the egg. Like, you can actually modify Norns, their genetics, to make them to make the eggs grow quicker inside. So if you, like, for example, sped up the production of that chemical, it wouldn't take as long for a Norn to lay an egg than usual. It was actually this game that introduced me to that kind of biology and stuff, funnily enough. It's just a shame they got rid of it in the sequel and in Docking Station, because yeah, she's just laying the egg now. They do this kind of weird pose where they like squat down and put their hands over the cheeks. But yeah, she was just doing it then, but she stopped. But yeah, like I said, it's a shame they got rid of the kits in the last two games, because I think it'd be really interesting. It's really interesting to watch. I know there's a chemical monitoring screen, but it's not really the same. It's actual physical place, and they'll just have to mess about going to. But anyway, yeah, like, yeah, they don't always lay their eggs. Usually they lay their eggs when they haven't got any pressing needs, or if. Usually they lay their eggs if they've not got any pressing needs, or if they're away from a lot of other Norns, because they usually like to have their own little quiet space to do it. She's not laying it though for some reason. I think she's hungry. I'll try getting her a piece of cheese. There are a few cases though where Norns can actually get stuck pregnancies, and it's where the progesterone isn't produced properly, and so the Norn will never be able to give birth naturally. As well as that, you can also get some Norns that are completely the egg laying system's completely broken, and so the body won't even respond to like being injected with progesterone and stuff. So the only way to get an egg out of the Norn then will be either using a script, or like there's actually a creature's object called a C-section thing that can actually do it for you. But yeah, it's not really recommended to breed Norns that can't lay eggs. But to be perfectly honest, they've barely got. If you just leave them alone, they'll both be able to breed anyway, because they won't actually be able to lay any eggs. I've not actually seen any bad effects from Norns being pregnant for a long time. But it is a shame, really, not be able to actually give birth. And I've had Norns that have died actually while still being pregnant, which is quite sad. And this was before I had any C-section add-ons installed, so they basically just went with the egg. The egg basically died with them. And she didn't want to lay it for some reason. I might actually have to use this. It's called... Let me see if I can find it. Lay that damn egg. There we go. That's strange, she's not laid it. That's weird. Right, I'll have to move him away from her. Oh, that... Well, that... I don't know. Let's try it again. If not, I think there's another one I've got as well, which I could use. There we go. Egg layer. Ah, there we go. The annoying thing with the eggs in this game is that if a Norn touches them or you touch them, they'll never hatch on their own, which is a bit annoying. But you can actually get an add-on that fixes that. That makes eggs too heavy for creatures to pick up. Ah, there we go. Another female. This time she's only got the Emerald Narn body and tail. Let's call her Emily. Emily. I used to at one point. This is pretty funny. I used to actually keep two separate families of Narns and like give them surnames, and when they breed, I'd like do like a marriage thing where the female Narn would get the surname of the male Narn and do stuff like that. It was quite confusing actually. But it was pretty interesting though, better track all the Narn families and stuff. You can't actually do it. You can't do it with the I know you can't do it with Creatures 1 or Docking Station or Creatures 3 because they got stupid name limits in. So you can't have like surnames and stuff. So yeah, we've been running for just over an hour now. I'm probably going to put an end to it soon because we've seen a fair bit happen in the world, and our Narns have had babies, and we've seen the arrival of Daisy, our new Eldorado Narn, and the world will be turning to summer soon, and we'll see the arrival of butterflies and a lot of other new things as well. So yeah, as always, I hope everyone's enjoyed this. As always, if you've got anything to say, like suggestions or feedback, just leave it in the comments section and I'll have a look over it. And thanks to a person called Deskish as well for engaging in the live chat too. And hello to Michael Blackwell as well. I'm sorry, I might have missed your message. I might actually stay on for a bit longer though. In that case, you can't do it. You can't do anything. You can't do any harm. Just staying on a bit longer. Michael Blackwell is also known as a Merboy to the Creatures community. Actually, I think he's one of the older members who've recently come back. Anyway, back onto the game. So yeah, things are starting to look a bit crowded now. Yeah, even though we've only got, I think we've got 5 Narns at the moment. Even though we've only got 5 Narns, things can start to go a bit chaotic. They seem to be obsessed with kissing each other, kicking each other and smacking each other, which we saw before. The only Narn who doesn't seem to be bothered is Lily, who's under here, and she's looking pretty tired. And she wants to hit the hand for some reason. I think she's angry with me because I've kept her away from all the others. Yeah, she seems to be just wandering around aimlessly. Yeah, they're all cramped in a little corner now, playing Happy Families. Oh, jeez. Yeah, the noise can become a bit unbearable as well if you've got a lot of Narns in the world. Like it can just be a big massive wall of sound coming from the computer. There's loads of Narns talking at the same time. I believe a lot of people actually play the game without the non-speech on, but I can't see. Let's see. Yeah, I can't actually see an option for that, unfortunately. So it's something I'm gonna have to live with. I know that they introduced it in the 3rd game and Docking Station, but they've they didn't really think to add that as an option in this, which is a shame because it does get a bit annoying. And so yeah, I'm hoping at some point during this series of live streams I'm going to be doing, we'll see some interesting mutations, like maybe Narns that have got colour tints and stuff like that, or I don't know. We might even hatch a couple of Mernons at some point and see what they're like. Because I did actually keep Mernons a lot when I used to play the game, but I've obviously not played the actual Creatures 2 game in quite a while, so it'll be interesting to go back and see what they're like. Yeah, there's not really much to see at the moment. The Non's pretty much just doing their thing. She's playing with that punching bag. She's probably angry because she's been kept away from the others. Oops. That's strange. For some reason I wasn't able to type in the live chat. Yeah, for those who are interested, I'm not actually running this game directly on Windows 10. I'm running it on a what's it called now? I think it's VMware Workstation or something like that. And I'm actually running it on a virtual operating system of Windows XP. You can run Creatures 2 on Windows 10, but it has quite a few issues. And let's go somewhere a bit quieter away from this rabble. Yeah, there are a few issues running Creatures 2 on Windows 10. First of all, there's the black box of doom, as it's been called, which can appear. I know there's a fix for that, but even when you do fix it, there's an issue with lag as well, where the game for some reason lags really badly unless you actually run it on 1366 by something screen resolution. And even then, there's quite a few glitches, like with the status bar at the bottom. That's completely empty. That doesn't load up properly, and none of the tooltips display correctly either, and it's just it's not broken. You can still play it, but it's not as good as playing it on a virtual machine. Yeah, what's it called? VMware Virtual Workstation, however it's called, is probably the best one I've found. There's VirtualBox as well, I believe. I've tried that and it doesn't work very well. For starters, it requires a lot of stuff to be installed, and then, even when it is running, I couldn't get Creatures 2 to run on it at all. It just kept crashing on startup, so I just thought I actually gave up hope before I actually saw someone mention this emulation software, and I decided to give this a go, and it runs perfectly fine. Yeah. So anyway, I'm probably going to be finishing up now. We've been going for over an hour. So yeah, hope everyone's enjoyed this, and like I said before, if anyone's got anything to say, just leave it in the comment section and I'll have a read over it. Once the actual live stream's actually gone onto my YouTube channel and processed. But a thank you to everyone in live chat who's engaged with me. And so yeah, if you want to subscribe to, because I've got this video. And I'm also going to upload, hopefully get it recorded and uploaded, my next episode of Portal 2. Completed, maybe Thursday or Friday, depending on what's happening then. I need to finish off my Snake Pass Let's Play too, but I've not really been thinking about doing that, but I probably should do at some point. So yeah, give the video a like as well, or live stream. I don't know if you can like live streams, to be honest, but yeah. So yeah, it's been fun this. Like I said, I enjoy live streaming a lot more than making videos because I don't have to wait for the rendering or anything. And hopefully I'll see everyone again soon. And I better get the Kynons installed. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see everyone soon. See ya.